Thanks for tuning in to Red Belt Radio. The following episode is scheduled for one fall. I'm Jason, and this show is dedicated to World Wonder Ring Stardom. Today, I'm covering the most recent injuries suffered by the Stardom roster, including wrestlers who were removed from the latest shows, and wrestlers who I believe are still performing while injured or compromised. This is not a cheerful subject, and I hope that everyone who appears in this transmission ends up 100% healthy. If you find these transmissions valuable, please give this a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. The first person to bring up is the toxic spider Thekla of the Hate faction. On October 12th, Stardom officially announced that Thekla is injured and will not be wrestling for the time being. Important to note that no time frame was provided for her recovery or return. This is a big deal because Thekla is one half of the Goddess of Stardom champions alongside Momo Watanabe, and the Goddess of Stardom Tag League begins on October 26th. It's possible that these tag team belts end up being vacated, which sadly echoes a situation that occurred last year when Natsupoi was injured. Speaking of Natsupoi, the Wonder of Stardom champion was directly involved in the very match that resulted in Thekla getting hurt. On October 5th at Nagoya Golden Fight, Natsupoi successfully defended her title against Thekla. But in the final moment of the match, she performed a corkscrew variation of her Fairy Real Gift finisher, and her left leg crashed onto Thekla's right hand at an uncomfortable angle, likely causing a significant wrist injury. It was clear almost immediately that Thekla had been harmed by the move, and yet she managed to complete a promo inside of the ring and backstage afterwards. This is the second member of the Hate faction who is sidelined due to injury, as Fukigen Death is currently recovering from an ACL tear. And if she does come back, it probably won't be until sometime in 2025. In an extremely recent announcement, Stardom is claiming that both Hanan of Stars and Xena of EXV are also injured and will not be appearing on October 13th or October 14th. We will have more information on the severity of their situations later. Saki Kashima of God's Eye is the next on our list, and she was seemingly injured during her Goddess of Stardom title challenge on September 28th at Korakuen Hall. This has been a tough 12 months for Saki, as she found herself out of action last November and also had to deal with a clearly compromised right foot during the month of April while she was competing as high-speed champion. If you go back and watch Saki's matches from around April 14th to the 27th when she lost the high-speed title, you'll notice how she cleverly used her comedic skills to cover for this injury and was somehow still able to work matches. It remains to be seen if Saki will be able to compete in the Goddess of Stardom Tag League alongside Shuri, but I wouldn't count on it. Another member of God's Eye who remains injured is Ami Sourei, who I believe is also dealing with a torn ACL currently. Like Fukigen Death, Ami will probably not be having another wrestling match until sometime in 2025. I'm absolutely looking forward to her return. Lastly, while Tam Nakano and Suzuki are still being booked right now, I don't think either of them are close to 100%. Certainly not after the choice to make their red belt title match at Nagoya Golden Fight as hellish as possible. Suzuki was already out of action earlier this year, and I suspect the only reason she came back when she did was to participate in the 5-star GP as the tournament's returning champion. It seems very likely based on her sluggishness, reduced agility, and difference in match performance that Suzu is not able to train as much as she once was, which implies that she is still quite a bit hurt. The Golden Fight match with Tam did her no favors, as according to Suzu, she temporarily lost her hearing at some point due to a strike that may have ruptured her eardrum. With the GP finished and the title match over with, I don't think it would be wrong for Suzu to take more time off from here. Red Belt Champion Tam Nakano had been taking damage during the build-up to Nagoya Golden Fight. And in the battle with Suzu, there were at least 2 moments where she very well may have suffered a concussion. Tam's head went through a table during the match, and very shortly after, she also took a shot to the head from a portion of that same table. The next day, Tam reported that her head was spinning during a fan meeting, indicating that the effects of the match were still being felt. I hope for her sake that she was exaggerating, but based on what happened to her at Golden Fight, I highly doubt she was. Which of the current injuries in Stardom will have the biggest impact on the final months of this year? Who are you most anxious to see make their return? And how hurt do you think wrestlers like Suzu Suzuki and Tam Nakano are, based on your recent observations? I'm sure the roster is working extremely hard to take care of each other, and I hope they'll continue to do so. If you found this transmission valuable, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. Thanks for listening to Red Belt Radio.